Good morning, YouTubers. It's pretty early here in chilly Minnesota. It's about 15 degrees outside. But now is the perfect time of year to buy used motorcycles on the cheap. People are trying to unload them to store them away for the garage. So people are trying to get rid of old junk, but what do they say? Another man's trash is another man's treasure, something like that. Who really cares? But I've been tracking a motorcycle for quite a while. I want to walk you through the process of what I do to pick a motorcycle out. Um, so, without further ado, we can jump right into it. A little bit about this bike. Different than any other bike I've ever done because it's about this big. It's a 50cc or 49cc mini bike. I have never owned one. I have never ridden one. However, I have always wanted to. Doesn't take up a lot of space. So I found one on Craigslist, but let me show you how I stumbled upon it so you guys get a general idea. This goes for people trying to buy your first bike. Really, you don't need to go out and spend a lot of money on a first bike. What I see a lot is they go drop three, four, $5,000 on their very first bike. You're gonna lay it down. It's gonna get destroyed. Then you're just out 3 or 4 grand, and you still know nothing about the motorcycle you were riding. So why not buy a motorcycle for two, three, $400? Drop another two, three, 400 into it. It's something your own. It's something you built. You can pick the colors. You can choose how it rides. You can pick all sorts of style to make it your own, to make it something you're proud of, for less than $1,000. Today we're just going to be looking at a mini crotch rocket because I've never done one. I'm super excited to. But without further ado, let me kick it over to my screen so you can kind of see some of the share or the search parameters I use for Craigslist. All right, so this is the Minneapolis St. Paul Craigslist page. Like I said before, I'm from Minnesota. One of the reasons I love to buy and build custom bikes is because in Minnesota, in this lovely, lovely state, for 5 months out of the year, unfortunately, you cannot ride. There are a few people out there that will go out and ride in December, January, March. If at least the roads are clear, but it's cold. It's about 15 degrees outside right now. Um, so you'll get cold pretty quick. It's actually pretty miserable. So haters can hate if they want. Say you're kind of a poontang, but I don't ride in the winter. Um, so the first thing I'll do is just immediately go over to the options portion, and we're looking for a cheap bike. We want to build our first bike, so you can search for something like 1,000 or even 500. So let's see what Craigslist gives us here. So you'll see a couple of mini bikes. That looks like an old Honda 80cc. I don't have a huge interest in some of the smaller, older bikes. Just not enough power to really, yeah, get my engine going, if you will. But look at here. This is the perfect bike. They want $150 for it. There's multiple pictures. Looks like the paint's in decent shape. There are obviously some rusted out spots, but it's a 78. But you could do a lot with this bike. It's something you could build, something you could be proud of. So let's just in a second here hop on over. We can just take a quick look at what other people have done with an EX400 similar to this. But parts are readily available for 300-400 bucks. You could have this thing up and running and something pretty nice. So let's pop over and see just for shits and giggles. Hit the images tab. The very first one. So if you take a look at that, that's a pretty sick bike. I bet you can corner pretty hard on that and have a lot of fun. The best part is you'll be walking away for well under $1,000. I mean, 150, probably get a couple hundred to get it running. All right, so this is the actual bike. Guy wants $100 for it. I texted him this morning. I offered him 40. He countered with 50, and he should be home in about an hour. So hopefully we'll be picking up that bike a little bit later today. No idea what kind of shape it's in. We'll see. Uh, could be in some pretty rough shape. I've never owned a mini bike. Pretty excited. Can't wait to tear ass down my street on one of those. So let's go see how this works. And hopefully I'll be able to show you guys a new bike.